Some people jump out of bed at 5 a.m., energized, focused, ready. Others don't feel truly awake until noon, and do their best thinking at midnight. For years, we labeled these people as either disciplined or lazy. But science tells a very different story. Your sleep timing isn't a personality flaw. It isn't a habit you chose. It is written into your biology. And once you know your chronotype, your body's natural sleep blueprint, you can stop fighting yourself and start working with the clock you were actually born with. Welcome back to Sleep Lab. Today we're covering one of the most fascinating and most practical concepts in sleep science: chronotypes. A chronotype is your genetically determined preference for when you sleep, when you wake, and when your brain and body perform at their peak. It was popularized by Dr. Michael Breus, a clinical sleep specialist, who identified for chronotypes and gave them animal names to make them easier to remember. The lion, the bear, the wolf, and the dolphin. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one you are, and how to use that knowledge to sleep better, perform better, and stop feeling guilty for the way your body naturally works. Let's start at the beginning. Your chronotype is controlled primarily by your circadian rhythm, your internal 24-hour biological clock. This clock regulates when your body releases melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy, and cortisol, the hormone that wakes you up. In some people, melatonin rises early in the evening, making them naturally sleepy by 9 or 10 p.m. In others, it doesn't rise until well past midnight. Neither is wrong. Both are biology. Research shows that chronotype is largely genetic, influenced by specific genes that regulate your circadian timing, particularly a gene called PA3. Age also plays a role. Teenagers naturally shift toward later chronotypes, which is why forcing adolescents into early school schedules has been a growing concern among sleep researchers. Understanding your chronotype isn't just interesting, it's actionable. Studies have found that people who align their schedule with their chronotype report better sleep quality, higher productivity, improved mood, and lower rates of depression. Now let's meet the 4 types. Chronotype number 1, the lion. Lions are early risers. They wake naturally between 5 and 6 a.m., feel most alert in the morning, and begin to fade by early evening. They're typically asleep by 9 or 10 p.m. without much effort. Lions represent about 15 to 20% of the population. If you're a lion, you probably feel a sense of pride about your early schedule, and honestly, society rewards you for it. Morning meetings, early workouts, breakfast productivity, all built for lions. Peak performance window, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Best time for deep work, early morning. Best time for exercise, morning or midday. Danger zone, social commitments that keep you up past 10 p.m. drain lions significantly. Sleep debt hits them hard and fast. Famous lion types, most high-achieving CEOs and executives who preach for AM wake-ups fall into this category. If you wake up before your alarm, feel genuinely energized in the morning, and start feeling sleepy while others are still going strong in the evening, you're probably a lion. Chronotype number 2, the bear. Bears are the most common chronotype, making up roughly 50 to 55% of the population. The bear chronotype follows the solar cycle closely. They feel sleepy when it gets dark, wake up naturally with the sun, and have a steady, predictable energy arc throughout the day. If you're a bear, your energy peaks mid-morning, dips after lunch. Yes, that post-lunch slump is real and biological, and recovers into the early afternoon. Peak performance window, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Best time for deep work, mid-morning. Best time for exercise, afternoon, around 4 to 5 p.m. Danger zone, bears are vulnerable to the afternoon energy crash. Reaching for caffeine after 2 p.m. disrupts their sleep onset at night more than any other type. Bears are the reason the standard 9 to 5 workday was essentially built around. It fits their rhythm better than any other chronotype. If you feel functional in the morning but not extraordinary, do your best work before lunch, and feel naturally ready for bed between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m., you're likely a bear. Chronotype number 3, or the wolf. Wolves are night owls. Their melatonin releases later than other types, often not until midnight or beyond. They struggle to fall asleep early, and they struggle even harder to wake up early. Wolves make up about 15 to 20% of the population, and they are perhaps the most misunderstood chronotype in modern society. Because the world is built for morning people, wolves often spend years thinking something is wrong with them. They're labeled lazy, unmotivated, or undisciplined, simply for being biologically wired for a later schedule. Peak performance window, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. Best time for deep work, late afternoon into evening. Best time for exercise, evening, around 6 to 7 p.m. Danger zone, being forced into early schedules creates chronic sleep deprivation in wolves, with serious long-term health consequences. Wolves tend to be more creative, more emotionally complex, and more socially driven, traits that thrive in evening and nighttime settings. If you feel groggy for hours after waking, come alive in the evening, do your best thinking at night, and genuinely cannot fall asleep before midnight no matter how hard you try, you're a wolf. And chronotype number 4, the dolphin. The dolphin is named after the fact that real dolphins sleep with only half their brain at a time, remaining partially alert even during rest. Human dolphins are light, easily disrupted sleepers. They tend to wake frequently throughout the night, struggle with racing thoughts at bedtime, and often feel that they've never had a truly deep, satisfying night of sleep. Dolphins make up about 10% of the population, and many of them have been living with unrecognized mild insomnia for most of their lives. Peak performance window, inconsistent, often mid-morning, around 10 a.m. to noon. Best time for deep work, mid-morning, when anxiety is lower. Best time for exercise, morning, it reduces the anxious energy that disrupts dolphin sleep at night. Danger zone, irregular schedules destroy dolphins. Consistency is their most powerful sleep tool. Dolphins are often intelligent, detail-oriented, and high-achieving, but they carry a disproportionate cognitive load and are more susceptible to anxiety-related sleep issues. If you wake easily at the smallest sound, lie awake with your mind running at full speed, rarely feel deeply rested, and have always described yourself as a light sleeper, you're very likely a dolphin. Now that you know the 4 chronotypes, here's the most important thing to understand. You cannot change your chronotype. You can shift it slightly, through light exposure, meal timing, and exercise habits. But your core biological rhythm is set. Trying to force a wolf to become a lion is like trying to change your eye color. You can cover it, but underneath, nothing has changed. What you can do is design your life around your type. Schedule your most demanding work during your peak performance window. Protect your sleep timing as an anchor. Stop judging yourself by another chronotype's standard. And if your schedule truly cannot accommodate your natural rhythm, focus on maximizing sleep quality within the hours you have. Which is exactly what this channel is here to help you do. The lion, the bear, the wolf, the dolphin. For biological blueprints. All valid. All real. All backed by decades of sleep science. If you've spent years feeling out of sync with your schedule, this might be why. Your body isn't broken. It's just running on a different clock. Drop your chronotype in the comments, I'd love to know which one you are. And if you haven't seen our last video on why you're always tired even after 8 hours of sleep, that one goes hand in hand with this. It's linked on your screen right now. Subscribe for more sleep science, and we'll see you in the next one.